Afternoon, everybody. This is the planet Earth here, and today I'm going to be talking about well, one of the strongest topics I think I've come to the conclusion for. America, the United States of America, right? I realize now that the U.S. government itself, has been corrupted for more than, well, I would say probably since the 19 to 1800s, but really corrupted. Like, let me explain the kind of corruption I'm talking about. I'm not exposing the U.S. government. I'm just basing this off my opinion. This is not based on any facts or anything like that. So this is just my opinion. Whether you stay here to listen or not, I think you'll understand a little bit better once I explain myself. I have been observing over the last 7 years, maybe over 10 years now, technically speaking. I have been observing the United States of America as a whole. I have lived in multiple states. I've traversed this country. I have traversed most integrated states in America: Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, California, Oregon, Washington State, Washington, D.C., Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York State. I have been to Connecticut, Rhode Island. I have been to Massachusetts. I have technically not been to Maine that I could remember. I need to see Maine. I just haven't been. I've seen the signs, but I haven't been to Bangor or just Maine itself. Even if I went to Salem, Massachusetts, into the Maine's border, I haven't been there yet. I need to go see Maine. But getting back to the topic at hand, I've been to Seattle. I've been to Portland. I've been to Salem. I've been all the way up PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, all the way up to Seattle, Washington, and into Vancouver, British Columbia. Yes, I've actually done that on a tight budget. I've been to Colorado. I've been to Utah. I have been to Idaho, Boise, and other places. Been to Montana. I've been to South Dakota, Kansas. I've not been. I've been to Wyoming. Um, I didn't go see northern Montana. I've only seen southern Montana, but just to drive through it during the summertime. I've been to Oklahoma. I've been to Missouri. I've been to Arkansas or Arkansas for some weird ass people. I have been to Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, um, Northwest North Carolina temporarily, and then Virginia and West Virginia. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Alaska. Uh, I've been to Puerto Rico, and I've been to where the hell else did I go? Technically, I've been to London, technically, but I stayed at the airport. I never got off. I never got out of the terminal system, the concourse of the terminal systems at London Heathrow. Yeah, technically, I never did. They didn't let me in the country. I didn't have enough money. So yeah, I got denied into the United Kingdom, aka England. That wasn't fun. Didn't have that much money, but I was willing to get a rental car and traverse up to Scotland. Never was able to do that. Technically, I've been to England. At least I landed at the airport. I never stepped foot on English soil, except for the airport. Kind of disappointing. That was a waste of $700, but it was a cheap air flight at the time. I've been to let's go to the cities now. Ready? This is gonna be a long list. I have been to Jesus Christ. I don't even know if I'm gonna have to bring up Google Maps for this one because I remember everything by heart. So if I just look at Google Maps, I'll tell you what cities I've been to. Or I'm gonna explain. This is a very long, detailed explanation of towns I've been to in America, and it's gonna be a very long list of towns I've been to. So I'm gonna start off with Kendall, Key Biscayne, Miami. I have been to West Palm Beach. I've been to Boca Raton. I've been to Melbourne, Florida, Orlando, Florida. I have been to Daytona Beach, Florida, Palm Coast, Florida, St. Augustine, the first city in America, by the way, Jacksonville. I never stopped, but I went through it. I have been through Brunswick, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, through it. I have been through Darlington, Georgia, Fayetteville, South Carolina. Was it? Wait, North Carolina. Sorry, Florence, South Carolina. I have not been to Charleston that I know of, and that's in South Carolina. I have been to Darlington, Lumberton. I think we got a flat tire there in Lumberton. Fayetteville, Richmond, Virginia, Fairfax, Virginia, through Baltimore, never stopped. I never stopped in Baltimore. I've been to Wilmington, Delaware, Trenton. I've technically been to Cherry Hill and Voorhees Township, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, or Newark, Morristown, New York City, Brooklyn, Queens. I have been to Garden City, Minola, Roseland, Hempstead, Levittown. All this is in New York State. Bethpage, Farmingdale, Deer Park, North Bay Shore, Brentwood, New York, Central Islip, Long Island, in Long Island, Long Island, New York. It's weird. I've been to Patchogue, I don't know how to say that, Blue Point, Brookhaven, Mastic Beach, Morchees, Eastport, West Hampton, West Hampton Beach. I've been to East Quogue, Quogue, Hampton Bays, Shinnecock Hills, Taco, Takahoe, Southampton, Watermill, Bridgehampton, Wainscots, East Hampton, a Magnuset, and of course, I don't know how to say it. Napeague. I don't think that's a town though. It's a small town. And then Montauk, and the Montauk Lighthouse. So those are the towns I've been through on Long Island. For Connecticut, I've been to Stamford, Norwalk, Fairfield, Bridgeport, and of course the smaller one of Greenwich. Some people say Greenwich. No, it's actually Greenwich. People don't know that. Um, Fairfield, Bridgeport, Milford, New Haven, Wallingford, Meridian, Meridian, Connecticut. I've been to Old Saybrook, New London, Westerly, Providence, Rhode Island. Jesus. When I think about how many towns I've been through, technically I've been through them though, so I've been there. I've been to Pawtucket, Rhode Island, Fall River, Rhode Island. I've been to New Bedford, Massachusetts, Wareham, Massachusetts, Sandwich, Massachusetts, um, Barnstable, Massachusetts, Harwich, Massachusetts, Orleans, Massachusetts, Eastham, Massachusetts, Wellfleet, Massachusetts, Truro, Massachusetts, and Provincetown, Massachusetts. Now, Provincetown is on the hook of Massachusetts. It's such a weird place. It's quiet and peaceful, and there's no way out except for one road, and I think it's Route 6. I have been to Exeter, Hampton, Northampton, Massachusetts. I have not taken the Albany route to Massachusetts. I have not taken that route. I have technically been to Worcester, Massachusetts, which was weird. And technically, I've been to Springfield, Massachusetts. I've also been to Springfield, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Cleveland, Akron, Mansfield. I've been to Mansfield. That was a weird ass place to go to, by the way. Lexington. Yeah, these are some weird ass middle of nowhere towns, and yeah, they're weird. Belleville, Ohio, yes. Butler, Ohio, yes. Fredericktown, which is kind of weird, but yes. Columbus, yes. Springfield, Ohio, yes. Troy, Piqua, Sydney, Beaver Creek, yes. Middletown, Ohio, Hamilton, Lebanon, Loveland, Oxford, and Hamilton, Fairfield, and Middletown, Ohio. Centerville, Ohio, Kettering, Ohio, Oakwood, Beaver Creek, Bellbrook, Centerville, I said Centerville, Fairborn, Medway, Enon, Donaldsville, Northampton, Ohio, and of course, you know, Springfield, Ohio, Lawrenceville, Ohio. It's a very small little community, but I've technically been there. I won't say where I lived in Ohio, but yeah, that I've been there. I've been to Toledo, Bowling Green, Findlay. I have been to Detroit, Michigan. Jesus Christ, poor Detroit, poor Michigan. I'm just going to continue to say what's going on, okay, guys? You don't seem to understand what's going on with the United States. Now I understand everything from a bigger perspective of the United States of America. So I've been to Canada. So in Canada, I've been to Quebec. I've been to Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa. I've been to Ottawa, Kingston, Hamilton, London, Ontario. I have been to Sudbury. I didn't go any further than that because I was scared of the snow. The I've been to Edmonton, Calgary. I drove to Alaska. I won't do that again. I didn't get to record it um, because it was like nighttime and it was like a permanent sunset in some areas of the Yukon that I went through. But man, you break down out there, you're dead, especially during the winter. There's nobody out there that can rescue you. I've been to Fairbanks, Anchorage. I have been to Deadhorse, the most northern part of the United States of America. I've been to Honolulu. That was an interesting place to go to. Very cool people out there, actually. Very cool people. I've been to Honolulu. I've been to Kauai. I've been to Pearl City, Oahu, the island, of course. Makaha. I'm not saying these Hawaiian names, so I apologize. Halawea. I'm not saying it right, but Walua and Halawea. I've been to Kohaku, Kauila Bay. Um, I've been to Kawa. I'm not sure how they say it. It's Kaawa, so I'm not sure how they say that. And Kualu, Wakani, and Kanoe. So I'm probably just destroying the language. Oh, and I also drove on the Hawaii 3 freeway, which is just amazing. H3. So amazing route, but 61 is better. It's so beautiful. It's ridiculous. It looks like you're in Jurassic Park the whole time when you're on Oahu, especially on the eastern part of the island near Honolulu, over the mountain range of 61. It's just beautiful out there, guys. You don't understand how beautiful it is. It is the most beautiful place on planet Earth, in my opinion, when it comes to tropical paradises. I just, I don't think there's a more beautiful place than Oahu. Um, Maybe there is. I just haven't seen it yet. But when it comes to America, American, I think that Oahu is probably the most beautiful place on planet Earth. Away from Oahu, the northeast part of Oahu is probably the most just gorgeous place I've ever seen in my life. So it's definitely the northeast part. I would say, if I was to say the most beautiful spot in all of Hawaii that I've seen myself, is Laie, or Laie. That is the most beautiful place I have ever seen in my life. It's a very small time. Laie or something like that. L-A. I think it's like Laie, or you can look up zip code. U.S. zip code 96762. One of the most beautiful spots on the whole dang island. Just gorgeous. Just absolutely beautiful. It's like Florida, except more remote. Absolutely recommend going to these places and checking them out if you can. Get a rental car, get a dang bus. I don't care. Take the bus. It's not that big. It doesn't take that long. Get on the damn bus. It doesn't take that long. But the most beautiful spot in Hawaii to me, I don't know. Let me see if I favorited the areas that I put as the most beautiful spots in the whole Hawaii. Which one was it? Was it the James Campbell National Wildlife? No, it might have been Uapua. Oaxaca Kahana State Park. It might have been this area here. Let me see if this is it. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is it. They have all the palm trees. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is it. So, guys, the most beautiful spot in Oahu for mountain viewing and Jurassic Park filming is Kahana Bay Beach Park area. It is just the most beautiful, breathtaking views I have ever seen in my life. And if you are in this area, please, for the love of God, actually go and visit this place. It's one of the most beautiful spots in the whole island chain. Now, like I said, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. You guys would love it. But you can also take 83 too. But it's beautiful. The whole island is beautiful. I mean, but Hawaii, the H83 route is another beautiful area of Hawaii. I recommend visiting. It's Hawaii, and I'm gonna give you exact zip codes so that if we ever go there, just put the zip code in and go check out the area. I'm tired of giving names out. It's just better to go to the zip code. I favorited this. So one of the most beautiful spots that I saw in the state of Hawaii was 96744. So if you type that into Google, 96744, it's Kananoi, Hawaii, or whatever the heck it's called. And this area, just in general, gives off Jurassic Park vibes. Like you're in the middle of like the Jurassic Park. It is the most gorgeous, scenic area I have ever seen in my. It is the most picturesque, perfect, beautiful green land you will ever see in your adult life. You need to check out 96744. I mean, it is gorgeous. 96744. I think it was called the Kahikili. I'm saying it incorrectly. Kahikili Highway, or whatever they call it, right? 83 north to this exact zip code of 96744. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look west. And as you're looking towards the west, you're going to see these beautiful mountains and the beautiful trees of Hawaii that kind of look Australian. And I know that sounds a little bit strange, but yeah, no, some of the trees in Hawaii, they seem to look Australian. They don't even seem to look like your standard American trees. And I did some digging. They're definitely not North American based trees. They're a mix of trees from different countries. But I don't know what kind of trees they are, but they're definitely not American. If anything, you could say they are more Australian than American, kind of. I don't know the trees, but they look Australian to me. And I've never been to Australia. Hawaii is just this beautiful paradise. You don't want to stay there too long, but you get a little, cabin fever, but it's gorgeous. And it's not that expensive to fly there these days. I mean, I can look up kayak right now as of this live stream. They're probably not that expensive, even from the Northeast. Let me see. Let me see a round trip ticket from to Honolulu is probably gonna be like what, 800? Let me see from here. It's gonna be. Let me see the 21st of. Let's go for the 21st. So we're looking at October 21st. Return on the 29th. All right. Yeah, let's just see how the damage. Probably 1,000 from the Northeast. 900. Oh, these are nonstop. Ooh. Ooh, definitely evil. That's evil. Okay, that's better. That's pretty evil, man. That number should not be popular. Okay, yeah, these are not. Wait, these are nonstop? How many stops? They don't have no nonstops. Okay, no nonstop flights. All right. So the best that we can do for New York to Honolulu is $647 round trip. That, considering that you're in the other part of the United States, I mean, that's over 8,000 miles almost. I think in flying miles, it's almost like 8 or 7,000 miles. I'm not exactly 3,000 miles. It's almost 3,000 miles to Los Angeles. and then another 3,000 miles to Hawaii flying miles. So you're probably looking at around almost 6 to 7,000 miles of air flight miles. So that's a long car trip. I mean, $647 for a two-way flight. I mean, considering everything, is more expensive than what I paid when I lived in Los Angeles. When I lived in Los Angeles, I paid $75. Wait, I think I paid less than $100 for the ticket. No, I think it was $150 a round trip. No, wait, was it a one way? How much did I pay? God, I would have to have the FBI look into this, but um, I think I was using Allegiant Airlines, and I think it was only like, I don't know, it was like I think it was like $90 or $100 one way or both ways. They were doing a very cheap sell. LAX straight to Phoenix, and then Phoenix to Oahu, Honolulu Airport. Wasn't even that and then there was a direct flight back to LAX, which was kind of cool though. All right, so they're saying $642. So it's a 19-hour layover. This was probably a pretty big layover then. Because it takes about 11. So it's a straight shot. They got one going from Honolulu, and it's like a straight shot. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, it's a direct flight. Oh no, 47 minutes in San Francisco. Honolulu to EWR 11 hours, and then there's a two stops: Newark, San Francisco, and then San Francisco, Los Angeles, and then from Los Angeles is a 3 hour layover, and then from LAX to Honolulu. But then the way back, it's just Honolulu to San Francisco to New Jersey. Huh. That's not too bad. Yeah, that sounds about right for going across the whole country. First refundable, $8,370. But why? Jeez. Extra legroom for a fee. Oh, wow. That used to be the standard back in the 70s and 80s. Anyways, guys, I'm going to talk now about why the country is suffering. Wages are too low for how much the rents and house prices are, right? So the U.S. government, as what I'm trying to explain here, is that the U.S. government failed um, the American people over the last, oh, Jesus, let me think. The U.S. government has failed the American people for the last, let me look at the calendar. Let's see here. All right, so I'm going back to about 1960. Yeah, January 1st, 1960 till now. I'm going, and yeah, they pretty much failed most of these cities. Look at Detroit. You look at Flint, and by the way, I'm not even looking at it on the phone. I'm just going based off of what I know because of what I've seen. I went to Gary, Indiana, and when I went to Gary off of Interstate 70, and I booked it to Gary, it was terrible. The whole city is in decay, ruins, hasta la vista, destroyed. I don't know what the hell they did to that city. It was disgusting what I saw. All those abandonment, all the graffiti, the abandonment, just terrible conditions of an American city. I cannot forgive the people of the state of Indiana and the businesses that moved out of Gary, Indiana. It was so disgusting to see the disgusting of Gary, Indiana. Just absolutely distasteful what they did to that city. And Flint, Michigan, another city that they destroyed with the water and everything else. I mean, it's bad. I've been to Flint. And I'm gonna tell you what, Flint is on a hellscape. Something that I can't explain to you guys. It is so bad. The Flint is bad. Really, 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 really bad. I don't know how to explain it to everybody, but yeah, no, it's bad. I feel bad for Flint. I feel really, really bad for that Flint. Flint, Michigan did not deserve the way they went down. It's rough. The roads are rough. Everything is rough in Flint. There's some good spots, but it's rough. The city is rough. It's pretty empty during the daytime. It's scary. It's weird. Flint looks like a ghost town. I've never seen nothing like it, by the way. There's people, but it's like a ghost town. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. I've never seen nothing like it. It's there's no activity going on most of the time. The houses are in, I mean, some of them are in very rough shape. Some of them are okay, but the roads is what really shocked me, and how bad the road infrastructure, the lack of the cutting of the grass. It's bad out there. I'll let you know that right now. Flint has been really rough. They did Flint dirty, really dirty. I've seen people walking barefooted over there in Flint when I was driving by. I've seen people, they don't look exactly the happiest in some of the areas. I went to East Village, in the Flint, Michigan area. And it's okay. But it could be better, if that makes sense. Michigan reminds me a lot of the Northeast United States. It's got that vibe of the Northeast, but not the same. The Midwest and the Northeast look very similar. The architecture is very slightly different, but not extremely different. But I feel really, really bad for, because remember the people that came in the 1600s to bring the new America or whatever that they did. You also have to remember that some of the same houses that were built in the Northeast were also built in the Midwest, with a slight flair to them, but practically the same, but slightly different, but practically the same. Maybe a little bit different on snow roofed housing, but it's practically the same thing. But yeah, what they did to Flint was terrible. I've heard a lot of stories, seen a lot of crime, and just the areas of Flint don't deserve it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. And yeah, I did test it. I didn't drink the water. I didn't trust it. But when I stayed at a hotel there in Flint, I'm just gonna say that the tub was not crystal clean. When I filled the tub up, I'll just say that's all I'm gonna say. It just wasn't crystal clean. Didn't look clean. Didn't smell clean. And I smelled chlorine, but the water itself did not look very clean. And it's really sad what they did to this poor city. They did not deserve. Those people did not deserve what happened. It's almost squalor conditions on some of the areas of it. Not all of it, but some. Detroit, they destroyed that city. The people that were in control of Detroit over the last 50, 60 years have ruined that town. 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020. So the last 50 to 60 years, at least the last 40 years for sure, they destroyed Detroit. I mean, they they really just destroyed Hamtramck. When I went to Hamtramck, I made a video on YouTube, and I think I did it many years ago. I was seeing houses on fire in Hamtramck, and I recorded it. It could have been near Hamtramck or just east of it, but it was somewhere around there. And you see a house on fire, and nobody's doing nothing about it. And there's smoke and all this stuff happening in Hamtramck, and just nobody does anything about it. You have houses, and then you have abandonment right next to a house that's being lived in, and it's almost continuous throughout the city of Detroit. Not everywhere, but it's pretty continuous in some areas. Not everywhere though, but it's rough and it's sad what they did to Detroit, Michigan. One of the worst cities I've ever seen in my life when it comes to abandonment. Just terrible people did terrible things to that city. Detroit, Michigan did not deserve the fate that it got. That's all I'm going to tell you. They did not deserve it. And then I went to Dearborn, Michigan. I didn't even recognize Dearborn, Michigan. Yeah, I went there and I didn't recognize it. And then I came back to Ohio. Yeah, but I didn't recognize Dearborn, Michigan. It doesn't even look like America anymore. That's a rough place. But like I said, just in general, it's and the sad part is Dearborn. It's a rough area. It's a rough town. Just rough. I don't know how to explain it. It's really sad what happened to Dearborn. Now, the next thing is Claytown, another rough area. Went there, kind of rough. A little bit more modest, but still pretty rough. I looked at the suburbs around Detroit, and they're okay. Could be better. The roads could be better, but it's okay. Um, More normal lifestyle, though. I guess once you get west of like, once you get west out of Detroit and you start going into like, away from like Southfield and you just start getting into the suburbs, it gets way better out there, but still rough. But the suburbs are way calmer and the roads are a little bit better, not much, but a little bit better than Detroit. So the United States actually ruined the economy. They spent billions and billions and billions and billions and trillions of dollars over the last 40 years, and they destroyed all that tax money that the American people made over the last 40 years. Did not go back into the public works of these cities. It did not go back into the public health of these cities. And then any money that the federal government did send over to these rough cities, corruption did not fix the roads. The corruption did not fix the people that were controlling these towns. The corruption didn't fix anything. They just maintained what they could as cheaply as possible and neglected some of the most rust belted cities in America due to the snow and ice each year. But it doesn't mean that they have to live in squalor conditions just because it has snow. Canada, doesn't have this problem and they get colder and much more snow. Even if it's not continuous, but they get below freezing and they stay below freezing. So the freeze thaw cycles of, I guess, southern Michigan theoretically could cause more road destruction, but Canada doesn't have this problem. I mean, look at Toronto and look at Montreal. They don't seem to have this issue. But like I said, just in general, it's just really sad. Now, lake effect snow does affect the roads, of course. But what happened to America is one of the biggest crimes in history. The government didn't care. The FBI never came, and they never got rid of crime. They never got rid of most of the violent gang members of America too. They never in the 70s and the 60s when everything was going out of control. They never arrested a lot of the gang members. They never arrested a lot of the people who were extorting people in innocent cities of America, and it caused this bloom of violence, criminals, and illegal everything that was happening in the United States of America over the last 50 years, 40 years to 50, 60 years. The things that happened in Detroit, I can't even talk about on YouTube. They destroyed, and they destroyed. That's what they did. They destroyed Detroit. They destroyed Gary, Indiana. They did it. They literally destroyed Gary, Indiana. I mean, that city is done. I mean, what they did to Gary makes me sick to my stomach. These people are discussing what they did to Gary. It's nasty. I mean, it's really rough. Like, it's just desolation of an American city. Like, it used to be so nice, clean, normal, happy, and they destroyed it. Chicago, I won't talk about Chicago much because I've not been there and I'm not going there, and you're not paying me money to go there. And I was even hesitant to even land at the damn airport when I had a transfer flight. But yeah, no, Chicago is off limits. I don't go to Chicago. You won't pay me to go to Chicago. I'm scared of Chicago, to be honest with you. The amount of shootings that happen in that city is so abnormal, it's just ridiculous. The amount of shootings and killings that happen in that one city. Some people call it Chirac. I call it, I'm not going there. Baltimore is safer than Chicago at this point. Even freaking Camden is probably safer than Chicago in some cases. And Camden is one of the most neglected cities in America other than Gary, Indiana, when it comes to just abandonment. I don't understand how the state of New Jersey could ignore Camden like I don't know, like it's some sort of like it's like Trenton, which isn't even far from Camden is just ignored like a plague, literally like a plague. Like Trenton ignores them like a plague. In the capital of New Jersey, which is Trenton, New Jersey, they ignore Camden, New Jersey, like it's the end of the world. I've never seen nothing like it, and it's really sad. Camden did not deserve the fate that it got. I think they made Campbell's chicken noodle soup there too, in Camden, and it's just sad because that's such a staple of my growing up as a child. To know that Camden of Campbell's, if I remember correctly, I used to see Camden on the packaging. To know that they could do that to such a city is sickening. And Baltimore, don't even get me started on Baltimore. What they did to Baltimore and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is unforgivable. It's just unforgivable what the US government and the state governments did to these cities. The amount of abuse that happened when it comes to federal and state funding is atrocious. The history of corruption in Philadelphia and Camden needs to be studied because I've been to Camden and it doesn't make sense. In relative condition, the state of New Jersey is relatively okay until you get to Camden. Once you get to Camden, that place is screaming help. Like, I'm not even joking when I say this. Like, that place is screaming help. When I look at Camden, New Jersey, it's literally screaming to me, help, please. And nobody cares about Camden. Nobody cares about this city, and it makes me disgusted. I don't know how to explain it. But it it's horrifying what they did to Camden. Like, that's not normal. The things that I see in Camden, New Jersey is some of the worst neglect I've ever seen anywhere, literally, just anywhere. Just abandonment and neglect. The streets are neglected in some areas. The roads are rough as hell. Um, just I don't know. Just New Jersey failed Camden, New Jersey. I mean, it's sickening what they've done. I try to look at faults in Texas, but there's not a lot of real industrial like waste of Texas. Maybe near maybe it's near Padre Island, but for the most part, Texas is okay. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But Camden, yeah, it's neglected like trash. Camden, I think, is probably in my top of most neglected but not abandoned cities in America. Baltimore is scary to me. I won't step foot in Baltimore. Philadelphia is very rough, but Baltimore is scary. I won't live in Baltimore, Maryland. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I would drive in downtown Baltimore. Maybe the downtown area, but I wouldn't go past the downtown spots because it really is that bad. People don't seem to understand Baltimore as a great city, but just absolutely horrifying what they did to this city in Baltimore. The neglect is ridiculous in some areas. And you know what? In my opinion, too, like, I think a lot of the row houses that are mainly, I don't even think they have a lot of row houses in New Jersey. They do have some in New York City, but the row house thing is not extreme like Baltimore and Philadelphia. I don't know why the row houses never really took a foot extremely in New Jersey. I'm still trying to figure that one out. In New York, it's not too bad in comparison. Maybe Brooklyn and Queens and Bronx, yeah, but for the most part, it's mainly, you know, it's mainly these two cities that have the most row houses that I think have the most row houses besides Boston. Now, the Boston roads, besides Camden, they're they're really messed up. I mean, Boston, yeah, no, that place is. I don't know what to say about Boston. Boston is It's a place, but it's I don't know. It's different. Like Boston, Massachusetts is different. It's a different vibe. It's rough. Boston is rough. Not as rough as other cities, but it's got its quirks. It's got its quirks. But it's definitely different than other cities I've seen in America. I would say Boston is closer to a slightly more ish European vibe than other cities. It's not the most European looking city, but in my opinion, Boston is probably, yeah, Boston is probably the most European looking kind of city in America, kind of. Yeah, I would say Boston specifically. It's a very weird city. It's very strange, very tight. Um, yeah, if I was to say any city in America that looks closer to, well, it is, New England area, right? So it's one of the oldest cities in the country, major cities, and a lot of colonialism happened from Europe. So it makes sense that Boston would be very strange and built very strange. It makes sense, but it's weird though. But yeah, Boston is a very weird place. Row houses for miles, um, parallel parking, and weirdness, but not compacted as bad as New York City. But yeah, no, it's definitely a different experience than Texas. It's definitely a different experience than Texas, but it's. I still can't believe how nice some of the architecture is of Boston, Massachusetts. But I haven't been to Salem yet, and I don't know if I want to go there. To be honest with you, I don't think so. But yeah, I've been to Cambridge. Definitely been to Cambridge. That was interesting. Cambridge, Massachusetts is very rich. Cambridge is a whole different ball game. I don't know how to explain Cambridge. Yeah, I've been here. Different ball game. I don't know how to explain it though. It feels fancy-ish. So, but like not like Harvard fanciness. You know what I mean? Like the Harvard in Cambridge University or whatever the hell they call it. Harvard University. I've never been there. I didn't go into the area, but I went to Cambridge, but I didn't go into Harvard area. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it literally looks like Europe. Yeah, no, Harvard looks like Europe. I don't know what, or just old America, but it looks like Europe. If you were to say any place in North America that kind of looks like Europe or gives European vibes, it's probably going to be Cambridge, Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, but mainly Cambridge, especially Harvard because of the way it looks. It's definitely got that Northeast vibe. Los Angeles, eh, not much to talk about. West Coast vibes, sunshine, burns your retinas. Not much to talk about there. It's the Northeast that really gets me going. But yeah, the destruction of America and the current politics of left versus right wing, it seems to have exploded. Artificial intelligence seems to make things a little bit worse. But the left versus right has gotten so out of control. And the division, I think it's intentional. I just don't know where it's coming from. But yeah, the division is there and it's definitely intentional. Half the country thinks one half are fascists and the other things they don't. They just want to be like regular Americans and you can't be American and oppression and all that good stuff, So unfortunately, the division of this country is so extreme and ridiculous. Um, just never seen nothing like it. I mean, literally people getting attacked, punched, you know, just over the dumbest shit. And it's horrifying to see that happening within the United States of America. We're supposed to be united, not divided. That's crazy to think about. Just and then you go, I technically been to New Hampshire? No, no, I did. I went to Vermont though. I went to Bennington, Vermont for like 2 seconds, and then I went back to the Route 87, Interstate 87, to get back to Montreal, Quebec. Now, did I drive to? Let's see, this is where I drove to. Oh yeah, Chicoutimi. I don't know how to say that. Le Bassin. Yeah, I forgot how to say this. Hold on, let me see. How did I say this? What city is this again? It is. No, these are want to go. No, these are places I've been to. It is Fjord Museum. Musée de Fjord Museum. No, it's called Chicoutimi. Up north, northwest of Quebec. Well, northwest of Quebec. I've been to the start, right? So I went to Saint Felicien, Lador, and that was the furthest I went. I didn't go any further west than Lador, and it's called Bellevue. No joke, Bellevue and Saint Felicien. Route 167 takes you to the middle of nowhere, Quebec, and then it'll take you into a town called Chibougamau. And in this town, I won't go there because you'll get stuck out there and there's nothing, that's way out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we're talking no cellular service, nothing. It's really the middle of nowhere. And once you pass Chibougamau, it's nothing out there. There's nothing major out there after that. And it ends in almost nothing. So yeah, don't be doing those roads even during the summer. If you get caught out there, if you hit a moose, you're gonna die. I would like to go to Radisson, Quebec, but I don't think I would make it. So, if my car broke down in Radisson, Quebec, I don't know if I would make it out alive. Look it up, Radisson, Quebec, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's literally out, excuse me, anywhere from normal civilization. But this is what I wanted to talk about: the destruction of America, one day at a time. Thank you guys for watching.